what is the purpose of life? It's a big question. Give me your interpretation of it, please. To serve, to live it, abundance, be happy, to be purposeful, to progress, witnessing. Okay, it's a to be successful in everything. Okay, that's a very high level of consciousness that I'm observing from your response of what you're saying. Usually, if you just speak to the people outside, I don't think they'll give half the responses you've been giving here. Now, a lot of people talk about this. They talk about, and I think there was a book written about this as well. People talk about winning the game of life. Winning the game of life. Now, how I see it is you cannot really win the game of life. And the reason why I believe you can't really win the game of life is because life has no beginning and end. Everything I want to refer to, whether it's today or whether it's tomorrow, we won't take any religious standpoints because religion is a very interesting thing. I don't know if you see different cultures, different religion, where people are so religious these days that they get stuck onto so many different concepts and they argue with other religions and say that your religion is wrong and they start hating on other religions. And I think that kind of is not what religion is about. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Like, I don't think the purpose of religion is so that you can fight other people with their beliefs. You get what I'm saying? I think that religion, recently made a post that said, I think my religion is love, It's like, I believe that if you look at every scripture, actually it's all about positivity and love and letting go of ego and all of this, but it's very interesting when people get religious, they kind of start fighting other people. And it's like, was that really written in the Bible or your scriptures, your holy scriptures told you should fight other people, And so I'm not going to take any religious standpoint. I'd rather take a more scientific standpoint in the understanding of this. And that is to understand one basic concept, not a concept, a science, and that is energy is everything. Everything meaning, what are we? Can somebody answer that? What are we? What are we? We are energy. We are energy. Let me ask this question. So somebody said we are soul. What is soul? What is soul? Soul is energy. Thank you. Okay. What is spirit? Spirit is energy. Thank you. Yeah, energy is vibration. Some people saying vibration. So vibration is the interpretation of what energy is, right? How it moves. That's vibration, right? So energy is everything. And in the same sense, if I ask the question, what is life? How do we answer that question? What is life? Thank you. Okay, so we say it's energy. We use these words because humans, they have to use words to understand certain things. And that's where the misinterpretation comes from. Words. Communication is a big deal in this human game. Right? Because the interpretation of word is totally, totally different. Right? I'll give you guys an example. Right? So, I mean, let's say this. Let's say some of you believe, how many of you believe in God? If you believe in God, raise your hand, please. Yeah, feel free to raise your hand. This is a free spirit event. So you believe in God. Okay, let me ask you a question. What is God? Energy. Is God energy also? Maybe a very powerful energy. Could we say that? Is that fair to say? I hope I'm not disrespecting any of your gods. But I'm saying that your God is a very powerful energy. So God is energy. So I will refer to somebody wrote creator. I will refer to the word creator when I talk about the big energy source that created us. So I'm referring to energy. You can refer to whichever portrayal you want and whatever he, she looks like, right? You can refer to that. So if we understand this, if life is energy, and everything is energy, but I can't just keep using the word energy today or tomorrow, because nobody would get what I'm talking about, because you won't know if I'm talking about God, I'm talking about myself, I'm talking about you, I'm talking about, because everything is energy. So I'm going to use human words to explain it. But note that human words will come to misinterpretation. So please don't misinterpret anything that I say. Have an open mind. Everybody do this. Repeat after me. My mind is open. Right? This is the biggest problem why most relationships break down, is because of communication, lack of communication or miscommunication. This is why workplaces have their problems, right? Their politics. How many of you know what I'm talking about? So when all this happens, why? Is because the misinterpretation of word. Word is not a good way, it's not the best way of communicating. We have to get very good at our words, but it's not the best way of communicating. The deepest form of communication is through energy. How we are and how that vibration affects other people. Right? How many of you have ever been in a moment before where you look somebody deep in the eye, they tell you, I'm okay, but you know deep in the eye, they're in sadness. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Right? So they can use the words, I'm okay, but you look, you feel, you know there's something going on there. Energy is the highest form of communication. It's the most powerful form. Words are always misinterpreted, because I could say something and somebody say, that is wrong. I'm like, well, maybe your interpretation of it is your interpretation of it. And I agree that probably your interpretation of it is wrong. You get what I'm saying? But I'm not here to argue with anybody. I give an example. I want to play a game with you guys. How many of you like games? Okay, so play full in this game. Okay, I'm going to say a word. When I say the word, I want everybody to type the word, the first word that pops to mind that relates to the word I'm saying. Okay, so if I say a word, then you put the first interpretation. What the first word is that springs to mind when I say this word. Are you guys up for the game? Raise your hand nice and high if you're up for the game. Okay, you got to type fast. Okay, so no thinking, no filtering, no filtering, no thinking. Okay, I'm going to say the word. 3, 2, 1, sex. Machine. Fun, love, pleasure, fuck. Okay, so what has this shown? Now we have 400 plus people around the world, right? What has this shown? That shows one word, I don't know, 1,000, vagina, 1,000 interpretations of what I just said there, you see? So that's why word is a very difficult thing when it comes to communication and interaction of what we want to do. It's not the most intelligent, it's not the most powerful way of communication to get what we want. I want you to listen to what I'm saying here. A lot of the time when we want to get what we want in life, we use words. We try to communicate it through words. What I'm saying is, it's not the most powerful way to get what you want by using words. The most powerful way will always be if you become the energy of what you want to attract. Through energy, you communicate. Now, so when we look at this, you say, hey, wait a second, winning the game of life. Life is energy. Then I'm going to go on to the second point here. So we understand life is energy. Energy is everything, so life is energy. Then we go to the second point in science, where they say, energy cannot be created nor what? Nor destroyed. It says energy can only be what? Can only be transferred. Okay. So when we look at this, you say, how do you win the game of life? How can you win in a never-ending game? A never-ending game of energy. You can't win. It's like, imagine you were playing a computer game and there was no end. Tell me when you'll win. There's no end. There's no completion. Tell me when you'll end. So there is no end. Somebody's mentioning Jumanji. Actually, Jumanji is a very good interpretation of what I'm going to be sharing here today. Rather than that, how I like to see it is kind of like this, right? I like to call it how to winning the human game. Let's not try to win the game of life, a game that goes on forever and ever and ever that doesn't end. How can we win it? I like to call it winning the human game only. How many of you would like to win the human game? This human existence, this thing, this game we're playing right now. Every single day we're playing this game, the human game, right? How do you win the human game? And so when I was looking at winning the human game, we need to first understand and establish, right, what actually happened. This body, right, this body that we are in, okay, this body that we're in, is the body you? That's my question to you, first of all. Is your body you? Like the essence of you, is it you? A lot of people saying no. Okay, your body is not you. I want you guys to do this for a second. I want you to point to yourself. Where are you? Some person saying here. So you're inside here? Inside the heart. A is saying here, you're inside there, inside control box. Where are you? Some people saying shoulders, you're on shoulders. Where are you? How many of you have had the moment before, what I was explaining just before, where sometimes you're saying something and you're speaking to a friend or something and you say something really stupid and you're like, why did you just say that? How many ever had a moment like that before? Right, okay? So, first of all, let's try and figure this out. You said something stupid, but you were watching you say something stupid and you were thinking you're stupid for saying something stupid. So where was you, the observer of the idiot? Where were you? Where were you in that moment? Some people say around here. By the left, by the right. Just around us. Energy field. We are way, 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 way bigger and way, 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 way deeper than what we think. We are everything, just like what you guys are saying. We are everything. You are not one whole. How can you be one whole? You cannot be one whole. People say, oh, you gotta feel this wholeness in this body. You can't feel wholeness in this body because this is limited. You need to understand one thing. You can stay alive with your energy extension. This is what I call it, energy extensions. Everything is your energy extension. I'm your energy extension. The tree is your energy extension. You won't be alive without trees. Do you know that? You think your breathing apparatus is here? Your breathing apparatus, half of it is hanging up there. Without that, you will not be breathing. So you are one with tree. You are one with everything. You cannot be alive by yourself. So you are not full. You are not whole that way. Now that goes against a lot of the different memes that are shared there. You are whole. But I want you to understand this. If that's the case, so what is this thing here? Right? This is a body. This is a body. This is a body. This is a body that holds, this is physical. And physical, anything that's in physical, right, will have what? Will have limitations. Physical has limitations. Outside of body has no limitations. If we don't use physical body, okay? I said once, you know, if you close your eyes, people say, oh, I want to be able to travel. I said, you want to be able to travel? I always say, I want to travel. I say, do you want to travel physically or you want to travel spiritually? Right? How many of you like to travel? Okay. So you want to travel. Do you want to travel physically or you want to travel spiritually? What do you want to travel? Some people say both. Okay, let me share with you the secret to doing both. How many of you want to know the secret? Raise your hand nice and high. Nice and high for me. Lean forward for me. Lean forward. Come in, come in, come in, come in, come in. Come in, come in, come in, come in. Don't just give me the cheeky smile. Come in. The secret is very simple. You want to travel physically? Buy a ticket, get on a plane. You ain't got the money, make the money, buy a ticket, get on a plane. Okay, you'll be traveling. You want to travel spiritually, so you're traveling not physically, you're traveling metaphysically. You're traveling in the energy. Very simple. Close your eyes, go anywhere you want. I'm on the beach right now. You see? Okay, I'm going to go up into the clouds right now. Now, I'm there. I'm flying. I'm moving. How many of you have visualized something before, but that visual actually makes you extremely, extremely happy? Well, let me ask you this question. When you visualize, is it real or is it fake? Right? You're getting confused. Some saying real, some say fake. It's real, it's fake. But what matters if it's real or fake? If you're happy, what matters if it's real or fake? What matters? So what would real be then? What would real look like? If you were really traveling through here, what would that look like in comparison? You have no freaking idea. You have no idea at all, yet at the same time you say it's fake. You don't know what the real experience will be, but you're saying this experience is fake. You got a problem. A big problem. Now, if we understand now, we're going to go bit by bit here. So you are non-physical. This non-physical energy that never dies, that enters in and uses this body here. Okay, so this is you using this body. Okay. This is physical body, which is limited. It will deteriorate in this physical game. In this physical game we play, there is a beginning, a middle, and an end. So those of you religious will be able to understand this as the creator, the preserver, the destroyer. How many of you following what I'm saying here? Right? Everybody inhale. Slow exhale. So there's a beginning, there's a middle, and an end. Right? Works exactly like a game. Now, let's have a look at this a second. Winning the human game. Right? I'm going to show you this chart here. Okay. This is the game here. So, what happens is this can be classed as your spiritual path. Okay? This can be classed as your spiritual path. This is your ultimate awakening. Ultimate awakening. There's so many levels of awakening. I'll just call it ultimate awakening. Let's talk about the highest level of consciousness right now. Okay. Now, what happens is there's a couple of things. So, first of all, what will happen is you will somehow enter into the game of life, okay? From somewhere, okay? From somewhere. I'm just going to write somewhere here, okay? Okay? Or some of us will say nowhere, okay? From nowhere, we will enter into this game. When we enter into this game, we go from nowhere to suddenly now here, okay? Now you end up here in this game. You are energy, you enter into this game, the game of life, the game of human life. Right now, some of you are not clear where you come from, where you were beforehand. Tomorrow, we'll answer these questions. Then you enter into human as baby. What happened is, when you enter as baby, have you seen how babies are, if you had to use a word, right, of those wondering eyes of a baby having a wonderful time, how would you explain what a baby is feeling when they come into this world? What do you think they're feeling? Thank you, we got the word. Curiosity. How many of you agree with what I'm saying? Is a baby, especially, and then it comes through the days and the weeks and the months, is a baby not curious about everything? You see wondering eyes, curious, questioning. What is this? What is that? What is this? What is that? What is this? What is that? They're curious. Have you seen a child? Young child will ask all questions. They are free to ask whatever they want to ask. Mommy, Daddy, where do babies come from? They will give you a troubling time because they have freedom of speech. They are spiritual, extremely spiritual. They are just pure energy. Where adults, they can't ask these questions. They can't speak about these things because we're limited. We now put restrictions. We have rules. Society rules. Right? Now, so if we look at this, the baby comes in and it's running this nice wandering journey, still becoming unlimited spirit, which does what they want. How many of you believe that babies do what they want when they want, with no restriction, right? Right? I want to poop, I'm pooping now. I want to cry, I'm going to cry now. I want to scream, I'm going to scream now. I want to smile, I don't need any reason for it, I'm going to smile now. Right? No baby would smile and somebody say, why are you smiling all the time? Nobody would say, nobody would question. Right? Baby is free spirit. So we come in as free spirit. Why do we come in as free spirit? Free energy. Because we were once free spirit. When we come into this, we feel that this game of human game is also the same rules. Because we never played the game before. Everybody inhale. Slow exhale. Let me ask you this question. How many of you have ever played a computer game before? Anybody played a computer game before? A computer game. Okay. Computer games is a very good interpretation of what this human game is all about. Very good interpretation. So, what will happen is like this. So through this computer game, what will happen is there are certain rules, there are certain boundaries, there are certain limitations, there are different characters, there is a goal, there is completion, there is the end. In this game, is this true, by the way? This game of life that we're living now, human game, does it have all these things? Yes or no? Yes or no? Right? It has all of these things, right? And to make it extremely exciting, it has challenges. How many of you been through some challenges before? Then you're playing this game. Okay? Now today, we're going to learn how to play it extremely, extremely, extremely well. Everybody inhale. Slow exhale. So let's take a look at this. Right. First of all, let me ask you this question. How many of you, sometimes when you get challenged by something, like some challenges happen, you're kind of like, why? How many of you have had that moment before? Why is this happening? Okay. Let's put it into perspective a second. Let's see challenges different today. Otherwise, you can't get through this game, this human game. Imagine if you're playing a computer game. You play a computer game, and then you start you just bought this new game. The first thing you do is you select a character. Do you not? You select the character you're going to use, right? Let me ask you a question. Is every character the same, or do they have different capabilities? Okay, it has different capabilities, right? How does that different to this life, this human life? Think about this a second. So you select the character. Then once you selected the character, right? Imagine this. Imagine this game that you enter into, right? What your character can do is jump. Just like that. Right? There was no score system, no point system. There was nothing that would stop you from jumping. And there was no end. There was no goal. So, you buy this new game. You just spent $50 buying this new game. You select the character. You select the one that can jump. You're like, oh my God, this one looks good. So, you press X. You press X again. No points are given. Also, nothing will stop you from jumping. You keep pressing it. Some of you get a little bit bored, get a little bit frustrated. Come on, do something. So what do? You press X. How many hours do you think you'll spend playing that game? Or how much fulfillment and joy do you think you'll find from that game? What do you think? No hours, no fulfillment, no joy. If you are coming into human game and expecting, hey, I want it to be peaceful all the time. I don't want any more challenges. I don't want any shit to happen in my life ever. Let me tell you something. You will be this person. And then what are you going to do? What is the purpose? You're going to be like, you know what? I think I'm done with this game. Let me exit. Let me get out of here. There are no challenges. There's no goal. There's no destination. It's peaceful. And you guys are praying for peace. Please, peaceful all the time. Please, peaceful all the time. Imagine that. Nothing happens. Peaceful all the time. See how you feel then. You see, that's not part of the human game. Then what happens is the game between destiny. How does this call you back? How does this call you back? How does your dharma, your destiny, the universe, God, calling, whatever you want to call it, how does it call you back? Well, first of all, there's also a limitation. God will not come down as a God figure and say, by the way, hey, I'm God. You're doing the wrong thing. Go on that path instead. God will not arrive this way. So, spiritual people call intuition, they call gut feeling, they call heart feeling, follow your heart, right? I'll call it energy. I'll call it energy in motion. I'll call it a feeling, which is an emotion. That's what I'll call it. This is whether you want to call it heart, whether you want to call it gut, whatever you want to call it. It's a feeling. It's non-logical. It's not mind. So you will have two signals that will play up. Number one is heart. That is one signal, okay? So heart is one signal, okay, of communication. You will have the challenge that will come in, and the challenge will come from mind. Okay? Mind is the challenge. If you're ever stuck in a decision, it will only be between heart and mind. Think about, if you're on a crossroad right now, it will only be between heart and mind. If you have, I don't know which career path to do right now, it will only be between heart and mind. If you have a relationship difference, you don't know which way to go, it will only be heart versus mind. Think about it. One path, you feel you want to go that way, but it's not making sense in your mind. That's the only thing that's going to happen. One thing is you hate your job, you want to quit it. So obviously your heart's not there. Your heart's somewhere else. But your mind's like, but I need to pay for the bills. Who's going to look after the kids? In every relationship, it's going to be the same problem. And every single human decision, you are only going to be conflicted by these two things, heart and mind. Are we following this so far? Take an inhale. Slow exhale.